All right, so ever since Donald Trump was banned from virtually all of the major social media platforms in the wake of the January 6th insurrection, conservatives have been really trying to form some sort of a conservative alternative to these social media platforms, and virtually all of these attempts have been absolutely laughable failures. And now we got Donald Trump, okay, the mad lad has finally done it. He is coming out with his own personal social media platform that is set to be launching roughly in the early parts of January in 2022. And so already, even before it has officially launched, okay, just after the announcement of this social media platform, they have already been running into some absolutely massive problems, very unsurprisingly. But I just wanted to read to you guys from this initial press release that they put out, and then we're going to get into some of the absolutely hilarious aspects of how this is already falling apart. But here, just starting with a press release, okay, so from Palm Beach, Florida, October 20th, 2021, Trump Media and Technology Group and Digital World Acquisition Corp., which is the NASDAQ DWAC, have entered into a definitive merger agreement providing for a business combination that will result in Trump Media and Technology Group becoming a publicly listed company subject to regulatory and stockholder approval. And the transaction values Trump Media and Technology Group at an initial enterprise value of $875 million, with a potential additional earnout of $825 million in additional shares at the valuation that they are granted, for a cumulative valuation of up to $1.7 billion, depending on the performance of the stock price post-business combination. And they say Trump Media and Technology Group's mission is to create a rival to the liberal media consortium and fight back against the big tech companies of Silicon Valley, which have used their unilateral power to silence opposing voices in America. Now, listen, he's mostly just talking about himself and that the fact that he has been silenced. And there are, there's a debate to be had there on whether or not Trump actually deserved to be banned from these social media platforms. Obviously, it's completely up to these social media platforms to decide who is going to get to be able to say what on their platforms. This is how it operates if we are going to allow them to remain as private for-profit companies. If that's the case, they get to do whatever the fuck they want. That's just the reality of it. Now, my personal opinion, just generically on all of these social media platforms, is that we should be regulating them as public utilities. We should be applying the general rules of the First Amendment free speech protections that we have in a public setting, because these social media platforms are basically the modern day public town square, right? So I do agree that these people, Mark Zuckerberg, Jack from Twitter, the rest of these CEOs, should not have the unilateral power to decide who gets to say what in the public setting of the United States conversation that is going on. But with that being said, to say that these big tech companies are unilaterally silencing conservatives is just absolutely absurd. All you got to do to figure this out is go and look at what the top performing political videos on YouTube, on especially Facebook are. Even on Facebook, I mean, it's pretty much every single week, it's 9 out of 10 of the top videos are conservatives like Ben Shapiro, Dan Bongino, and a bunch of these other motherfuckers who are posting on Facebook. They are dominating these platforms. So it's just laughably absurd to pretend as if they are they are not backing these conservatives. Not only are these conservatives not being silenced on these platforms, but they are literally being promoted by these platforms. So that's laughably absurd, just to put that out there. But they continue saying that Trump Media and Technology Group, also known as TMTG, sounds like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but will soon be launching a social network named Truth Social. And Truth Social is now available for pre-order in the Apple App Store, and Truth Social plans to begin its beta launch for invited guests in November 2021. A nationwide rollout is expected in the first quarter of 2022, and those who are interested in joining Truth Social may now visit www.truthsocial.com to sign up for the invite list. And President Donald J. Trump, the chairman of TMTG, stated, quote, "I created Truth Social and TMTG to stand up to the tyranny of big tech. We live in a world where the Taliban has a huge presence on Twitter, yet your favorite American president has been silenced." I just love how he always perpetually talks from the third person perspective and is always complimenting himself, yet your favorite American president has been silenced. This is unacceptable. I am excited to send out my first truth on Truth Social very soon. It's honestly pretty dystopian that they're literally calling this truth, and whenever you tweet something out on this social media platform, it's called a truth, okay? Apparently, you are literally not allowed to say anything that is not completely true in the eyes of Donald Trump on this, and we're going to get to that because that basically is literally outlined in their terms of service. But TMTG was founded with a mission to give a voice to all. I'm excited to soon begin sharing my thoughts on Truth Social and fight back against big tech. Everyone asks me, why doesn't someone stand up to big tech? Well, we will be soon. And they say additionally, TMTG intends to launch a subscription video on demand service known as TMTG Plus and this will feature a non-woke entertainment programming, news, podcasts, and more. Okay, non-woke entertainment programming, again, not really sure what you're talking about, as if you can't get non-woke programming on any other streaming service that exists right now, or even on things like YouTube and Facebook and all of these other sites. I mean, conservatives, again, are dominating a lot of these different things, but still, they're going to continue the grift. Obviously, they're going to demand more money. In this case, it is going to be a subscription model for whatever the fuck they are going to be featuring on this streaming service. I don't even really want to know what they're going to be putting in there. But yeah, I mean, that's basically the outline here from the press release that they put out there. And now we get into a lot more of the hilarious and interesting side of this. So this is literally from their terms of service, okay? These are some of the rules that they're putting on a site or a social media platform that Donald Trump is literally advertising, basically, and trying to pretend as if this is going to be the new utter free speech platform, right? This is where you are not going to be silenced by the tyranny of big tech companies. This is a site where you are going to be able to say whatever you want, engage with challenging ideas, and participate in the free market of ideas, as somebody like Ben Shapiro would say. But these are the actual rules that are in the terms of service on this, and a number of these are pretty funny. I thought this one was kind of funny. They say you are not allowed to trick, defraud, or mislead us and other users, especially in any attempt to learn sensitive account information such as user passwords. So this is kind of boilerplate, but also in a way I thought that was funny that, you know, these people think that they are going to be tricked into revealing their user passwords. Not really sure how you would go about making that mistake, but that was pretty funny. And then here's the real best part. Okay, so 17, you are not allowed to harass, annoy, intimidate, or threaten any of our employees or agents engaged in providing any portion of the site to you, and you are not allowed to disparage, tarnish, or otherwise harm, in our opinion, us and or the site. Okay, let me read that again. You are not allowed to disparage, tarnish, or otherwise harm, in our opinion, us or the site. So basically, if you say anything that anyone who is running this social media platform, whether it's Donald Trump himself or any of the people who are working below him, if you say anything that hurts their fifis, you will be booted from the platform. Okay, again, it's entirely subjective. It is literally based on if you are tarnishing or disparaging whatever by their own opinion, the site or Donald Trump or anybody else who works at the site. So this is way more restrictive. I mean, literally, this is way more restrictive than even Twitter or Facebook or any of these other sites are in their own terms of service, okay? You can criticize Twitter on Twitter. You can criticize YouTube on YouTube. I've done it before. You can criticize Facebook on Facebook without getting removed from the site. Apparently, you can't even do that on this site. You can't criticize Truth. You can't criticize Donald Trump, or you can't criticize really anything that would hurt conservatives' feelings. So I just think this is hilarious, because not only is this not the beacon of free speech relative to other social media platforms, but it's the exact opposite of that. This is going to be the most restrictive social media platform, okay? And not only that, but it's not going to work, because if you aren't allowing people, liberals or leftists to be on this site, disparaging the site or picking fights with conservatives, then the whole thing is not going to work, because that's all conservatives care about. All they care about is triggering the libs. And so if you're going to have a social media platform that is nothing but a circle jerk of conservatives who are constantly praising Donald Trump or praising conservatism in some way, then it's going to be a pretty boring site, and nobody's going to want to spend their time on it, because again, all they care about, including Donald Trump himself, is triggering the libs, and liberals are not going to sign up for this, or apparently even if they do sign up for this, they're going to be immediately banned if they even disparage Donald Trump in any way, shape, or form. So it's just laughably hilarious. This is the most restrictive and anti-free speech social media platform of them all, but they continue here with an even better thing, okay? So this happened literally on the first day, okay? So pranksters have already defaced Trump's new social media network, and they say former President Donald Trump and his team declared Wednesday night that they would soon launch a media powerhouse that would help them triumph over their long-running war against big tech. But within hours, pranksters found what appeared to be an unreleased test version and posted a picture of a defecating pig to the Donald J. Trump account. Okay, so it literally has not even been released, and we are already having people who are hacking into this and then are posting from an official Donald J. Trump account. And I'm going to show you exactly what they posted here, okay? But this literally happened before the release. This happened just after they announced the existence of the website, and it is already being hacked. And warning, you are going to be seeing a pig defecating here, but this is what was posted from the official Donald J. Trump account within hours of it being released. Okay, this is what was posted, right? So listen, Okay, this gets back to the original point in this entire conversation about alternative social media platforms. Again, I'm not for Jack from Twitter or Mark Zuckerberg having the unilateral authority to decide who gets to say what in the public political conversations. Again, the actual solution to doing that is not by creating some weird conservative alternative social media site where you're just going to allow conservatives to participate in a circle jerk with each other. The actual solution to that is either nationalizing them, breaking them up, or regulating them as public utilities, which is the most realistic option that would actually be on the table. So that's what you would actually have to do to protect free speech. But of course, they don't care about protecting free speech. They just care about protecting their own ideology and making sure that nobody hurts their feelings, especially not Donald Trump himself. So listen, this is going to be a failure. Okay, I'm pretty confident in my prediction on that. Yet again, for the only reason why many of these sites have been utter failures. Okay, not just in that they don't actually protect free speech, but also that if you don't have liberals who are going to be signing up for this, if you don't have leftists and socialists like myself signing up for this, then they're going to get bored really quickly, because the entire purpose of somebody like Donald Trump, the whole reason why a lot of people get rallied up behind him, is not because of the policy agenda that he is talking about or the substance of anything of what he has to say, but it's because he is constantly triggering the liberals. And if you can't trigger the liberals, then your site is going to be an utter failure.